Hello students, today I am going to discuss several applications of Gauss theorem. So the very first application is electric field due to infinitely long uniformly charged wire. तो Gauss theorem से हम किसी long uniformly charged wire के इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड को कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं. Suppose this is the given wire and we consider this wire as cylinder. So we considered the Gaussian surface is cylindrical. So we considered the Gaussian surface is cylindrical in shape. So let us apply Gauss law on this cylinder. The general form of Gauss law is given by surface integral of E ds is equal to q upon epsilon naught. So this is nothing but the electric field flowing through this conductor wire. Total electric field flowing through this conductor wire. So this quantity will be equal to the electric field into surface area. So the surface area of cylinder will be equal to 2 pi r into L. If we consider the length of cylinder h L, then 2 pi r L. So E into 2 pi r L. What is this Q? This is total charge. If we suppose the linear charge density in case is lambda, the linear charge density in this case is lambda, then lambda into L will be the total charge, and this lambda will be L will be divided by epsilon naught. So from here we can calculate E. So this E will be equal to lambda L divided by 2 pi epsilon naught r. 2 pi epsilon naught r into L. L and L will be cancelled out, and only the remaining term will be lambda upon 2 pi epsilon naught r. So this is the formula to calculate electric field in this case, where lambda is linear charge density. This linear charge density will be multiplied by the length L to give the value of total charge Q. So here we imposed Q equal to lambda L. And what is this R? This is the perpendicular distance from the charged wire, and R is the perpendicular distance from the charged wire. In the next case, we have considered electric field due to a thin infinite plane sheet of charge. So here we have considered a plane sheet of charge, which is our Gaussian surface. In this case, we have to consider the surface charge density, which is given by small sigma. So the electric field in this case will be equal to small sigma divided by 2 times epsilon naught, if we are considering the infinite plane sheet of charge. and the electric field E equal to sigma upon epsilon naught if we are considering any charged conducting surface. Any charged conducting surface, the electric field will be equal to sigma upon epsilon naught, where sigma is surface charge density. So now let us discuss the second case. If we take two equally and oppositely charged parallel planes, so the electric field intensity due to parallel plane having equal and opposite charges. In this case, if we consider the electric field between two plates, then this will be equal to E equal to sigma upon epsilon naught, and this value for between two plates. And if we are considering electric field outside the plates, then this will be 0. There is no electric field outside the plates if we are taking two parallel plane having equal and opposite charges, like this. This plane is with positive and this plane is having negative charge. In such type of cases, the electric field will be sigma upon epsilon naught inside the between the two plates and E equal to 0 for the outside. So now we are going to discuss electric field due to a thin charged spherical cell of radius r at a distance small r from its center. So here we considered a spherical cell. This is a 3D shape and its radius is r. So in this case we can take the point at 3 points. First we take it outside of the spherical cell. We can take it on the surface of spherical cell and at the center of spherical cell. So we can take the point inside also. So the r, here is 3 cases for r. The first case is small r is greater than capital R. This means the point is outside. The point is outside. So for this case, we can say that point that we have considered to calculate electric field is lying outside. From Gauss theorem we know that E ds equal to q upon epsilon naught. So we have to calculate the total electric field flowing through the surface and total charge. Here E and ds are flowing in the same direction. Direction of electric field and surface vector are the same. Therefore, E into ds equal to q upon epsilon naught. Since direction of vector E and vector ds are same. So this will be 4 pi r square. 4 pi r square. E into 4 pi r square will be equal to q upon epsilon naught, or we can rearrange it as E equal to q upon 4 pi epsilon naught r square, or this can be rewritten as 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught into q upon r square. And now we will calculate the total charge through the surface. This will be equal to q, and since q equal to surface charge density into 4 pi r square, the total surface area of this spherical cell. So putting this value in this equation, we will get E equal to sigma r square upon epsilon naught small r square. So this is the electric field when point lying outside of the spherical cell. Now we will consider the second case, that is if small r is less than capital R. This means the point lying inside of the cell, and since we know that the total charge inside the cell is 0, therefore the electric field becomes 0. So as q equal to 0 inside the cell, therefore E equal to 0. Now we will discuss the next case. If R equal to R, this means the point is lying on the surface. In such a case, putting small r equal to capital R, we will get E equal to q upon 4 pi epsilon naught r square, and this will be equal to sigma upon epsilon naught, where sigma is surface charge density. And this sigma is given by q upon 4 pi r square, charge divided by surface area. So going in this way, we can calculate the field lying on surface of cell. So these are the few applications of Gauss's theorem, and almost the first chapter is end. In the next video lecture, we will discuss some numerical problems based on this chapter. अगर आपको हमारे वीडियो पसंद आ रहे हो तो अपने फ्रेंड्स के साथ में शेयर करें, अपने सोशल मीडिया अकाउंट्स पर शेयर करें, जिससे कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा सब्सक्राइबर्स इस चैनल का लाभ ले सकें. थैंक यू.